Hey guys, today we're diving beneath the surface of a world we think we know, but barely understand. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And tell me in the comments, where are you listening from tonight? Maybe the sound of rain is outside your window, or maybe you're already lying in bed. The lights soft, the world quiet. Wherever you are, let the world slow down for a while. Soften your gaze, let the hum of life around you fade, and gently drift with us into tonight's quiet exploration. You close your eyes, and the first thing you feel is motion, a slow, endless sway. This is Earth's heartbeat, though we rarely think of it that way. More than 70% of our planet's surface is covered by water. From orbit, the world looks like a shimmering sapphire. Not Earth at all, but ocean. It's humbling to realize that if aliens ever saw us from light years away, they might not call us Earthlings, but waterlings. Every breath you take carries a trace of the sea. The oxygen you inhale, half of it, maybe more, was created by microscopic plankton drifting in sunlit shallows. They're older than forests, more enduring than mountains, and yet so fragile that a shift in temperature or pH could wipe them away. And yet, somehow, they persist, tiny specks glowing with life, floating in patterns shaped by wind, moon, and tide. You imagine standing on a coastline, waves folding over your feet. Each ripple that touches you carries atoms that have traveled the world. Molecules that once evaporated near Antarctica, rained over Japan, and froze as Arctic snow before melting back into the sea. Every drop in the ocean is a traveler, part of an eternal cycle that has been repeating since before humans existed. Beneath the surface, light scatters into ribbons of turquoise and sapphire. The deeper you go, the slower everything becomes. Time feels thicker, like syrup. Sound travels faster, clearer. Voices of whales, echoes of tectonic shifts, the distant pulse of volcanic vents. It's like descending into the Earth's subconscious mind. Marine biologists call the ocean a living system, a vast, interconnected organism. Currents are its veins, carrying nutrients across continents. Coral reefs are its lungs, exchanging gases with the air above. And deep trenches, those miles-long scars on the seafloor, are its memory, recording eons of change and silence and pressure. You drift lower in your thoughts. You start to notice how strange it is that we live in the small, dry portion of this water planet, like barnacles clinging to a rock, while the true world, the greater one, moves beneath us. We build maps and satellites, but more than 80% of the ocean remains unseen, unmeasured, unvisited. In fact, we know more about the surface of Mars than the deep Earth beneath our waves. And maybe that's fitting, because the sea, in its vastness, is the planet's dreamscape. Close your eyes a little tighter now. Picture yourself floating just below the surface, sunlight flickering above, soft shadows below. You're surrounded by life you can't see. Microscopic creatures, drifting colonies, transparent worlds invisible to the naked eye. You hear a rhythm, the ocean inhaling, exhaling, the sound of something ancient, patient, and impossibly calm. It's easy to forget, but every part of you is born from this element. The salt in your blood mirrors the salinity of seawater. The fluids in your body still echo the chemistry of those early oceans where the first cells began to divide. In a way, you never really left the sea. You just learned to breathe differently. Scientists say life began around 4 billion years ago, near hydrothermal vents deep on the ocean floor, where hot minerals met cold seawater and created energy gradients that allowed complex chemistry to start. That tiny flicker, a microscopic spark of metabolism, was the beginning of everything. Coral, whales, forests, humans. And all of it still depends on the ocean's balance. So as you lie there tonight, listening, remember, you are not separate from the sea. You are part of its story, a brief wave in its endless tide. The water moves, and so do you. The earth breathes, and you breathe with it. And as we drift deeper into tonight's journey, let's follow the light until it fades completely and discover what the ocean becomes when sunlight disappears. You begin to descend, slowly, as if the ocean itself is inviting you deeper. The surface light dances above you, rippling patterns of gold and blue. But with every meter, the colors begin to change. Red is the first to vanish, then orange, then yellow. By the time you reach 200 meters, the world is painted entirely in shades of blue and green, like a watercolor dream dissolving into darkness. The ocean swallows light in silence. Down here, even the sun cannot reach. It's called the twilight zone, and it's not a place of danger. It's a place of peace. Fish drift like ghosts, silver scales glimmering with the faintest reflection of a world they'll never see again. You can almost feel the temperature drop. The water becomes heavier, slower. Pressure builds, not enough to crush, but enough to remind you that this realm belongs to something far older and quieter than humankind. And yet, there is life here, abundant and strange. Tiny lanternfish move in coordinated waves, forming living curtains of light that shimmer in the dark. They rise each night toward the surface to feed and sink back down at dawn. A vertical migration so vast that scientists call it the greatest daily movement of life on Earth. It happens every night, silently, just beneath the places where we swim and sail. It's strange to think that even now, as you listen, billions of small creatures are traveling this invisible highway, a mass migration guided only by instinct and the rhythm of darkness. Their bodies glow faintly, each pulse a soft blue whisper against the void. If you were truly there, you might feel like you were floating in a galaxy of stars. Only these stars breathe. In this fading light, the rules of life begin to bend. Eyes grow larger, jaws sharper, bodies thinner and more transparent. It's as if evolution itself learned to paint with darkness. Some animals have skin that reflects no light at all, a kind of biological invisibility cloak. Others absorb the blue wavelengths so deeply that they appear to disappear altogether. It's not deathly quiet, though. Sound travels farther here than anywhere else on Earth. A whale's song can echo across entire oceans, low enough to vibrate through your bones. There's a sense of timelessness here, as if this part of the sea exists outside the usual measure of hours and days. No sunrise, no sunset, only a soft, continuous blue fading into black, where light isn't gone, it's merely dreaming. Marine researchers often describe the twilight zone as the ocean's memory. The particles drifting here, plankton, waste, and microscopic shells, are the slow snowfall of the sea, carrying with them the chemical stories of surface life. Every flake that sinks becomes part of a record, preserved for thousands of years in layers of deep sediment below. It's the ocean's archive, a history book written in silence. You drift alongside it now, feeling a kind of calm that only comes when the senses surrender. You no longer see clearly, but you sense more deeply. The rhythm of your breath begins to match the rhythm of the waves above you. Slow, steady, almost weightless. It's easy to understand why divers often describe this depth as meditative. There's nothing to chase, No sound to interrupt your thoughts, only the quiet pulse of your own heartbeat blending with the ocean's hum. Down here, you're reminded that the absence of light isn't the same as emptiness. Sometimes, it's just another form of peace. And somewhere below, beneath this dreamlike stillness, the ocean continues, darker, deeper, stranger still. Beyond the reach of light lies a world that glows from within, a realm of creatures that create their own brightness in defiance of the eternal night. Let's drift a little deeper, where the dark begins to shimmer, and where life itself learns to paint with fire. The deeper you drift, the more silence transforms into something else. Not absence, but presence. Sound moves differently here, bending through layers of water like breath through glass. You can't see much now, but you can hear everything. Low frequencies rumble in the distance, the heartbeat of an unseen world. The ocean, it turns out, is never quiet. It hums, clicks, groans, and sings. Some of these sounds are as old as the earth itself. Echoes of volcanic vents, crackling ice shelves, and distant storms rumbling thousands of miles away. Others are alive, shaped by the throats and muscles of creatures we rarely meet. The great whales are the composers of this abyss. Their songs travel entire oceans, layered with patterns and phrases that shift slowly over time, as if they're rewriting their own language each generation. Blue whales, the largest beings on Earth, produce calls so low in frequency that your ears can't quite hear them, but your body can feel them. They vibrate through the bones of the sea. In the stillness, it's as if the water itself is breathing, carrying stories from one hemisphere to another. Scientists once thought whale songs were random, the lonely moans of giants adrift. But recent research shows something different. The songs follow rhythmic structures, even verses, much like music. And just like human songs, they evolve, spreading from one ocean to another, until entire populations are humming the same new melody. It's a slow, aquatic symphony that no one conducts but everyone feels. But whales are not the only singers here. The snapping shrimp creates one of the loudest biological sounds on the planet, louder than gunfire scaled to human measure. It snaps its claws so fast that it forms a bubble of plasma, a spark of light and sound that stuns its prey. In the pitch black, sound becomes both weapon and language. There are others, schools of fish that hum softly at night, coral reefs that crackle with life, and mysterious hums that even the most advanced hydrophones cannot identify. Some of these deep sounds are seismic, tremors from shifting tectonic plates, whispering through the ocean crust. Others, more mysterious still, once drove scientists to confusion, like the bloop, a deep, powerful sound recorded in 1997 that no one could explain for years. It echoed across thousands of miles, deep and organic, as though something enormous had spoken. Speculation ran wild. A prehistoric leviathan, perhaps? A hidden civilization of sea giants? Eventually, analysis revealed it was likely the sound of ice, massive icebergs breaking and rolling underwater. And yet, some oceanographers admit quietly that not all deep sounds have been explained. Even the sea, it seems, likes to keep a few secrets. When you listen carefully, you realize these aren't just noises. They're signs of life. Each frequency reveals temperature, pressure, and movement. To scientists, sound is how we map the unknown. To you, right now, it's something more intimate. A lullaby sung by the planet itself. You let your mind drift with it. The low hum, the soft pop, the long, resonant tone of a whale somewhere in the dark. There's no melody, yet feels like music. It's calming, patient, infinite. If the universe has a pulse, this might be it. Somewhere above, storms rage, continents shift, time flows. But here, everything slows to a murmur. It's easy to fall asleep to the sound of the deep because it reminds you of something older than thought, the rhythm of existence itself. And as you drift further still, the light has now almost vanished. But instead of darkness, a faint glow begins to appear. Tiny sparks, scattered like stars, begin to blink into existence around you. The sea, once silent and dark, begins to light up, not from the sun, but from the life within it. Next, we'll explore that strange, glowing world. A place where creatures carry their own lanterns, where every flicker is both beauty and survival. You might imagine the ocean as one continuous body of water, vast, uniform, endless. But it isn't. Beneath that endless blue lies an entire world of motion, an architecture of liquid highways, rivers flowing through water itself. They twist and turn like veins through a living body, shaping climates, sculpting continents, and carrying life in invisible streams. It sounds impossible, rivers inside the sea, but that's exactly what they are. Scientists call them submarine currents or underwater rivers. They are dense, cold, and heavy, moving along the ocean floor while lighter waters flow above them. And in some rare places like the Black Sea or the Gulf of Mexico, you can actually see them, shimmering streams winding through the darkness, complete with their own banks, waterfalls, and sediment beds. If you could dive there now, you'd see something hauntingly familiar, a river valley beneath the ocean. Tree-like corals rise from its banks like drowned forests, and ghostly fish swim through a mist of salt, drifting like birds through fog. The water inside the river moves faster than the sea around it, carving paths deep into the seabed. In photographs taken by remote submersibles, these rivers look like silver smoke trails across the floor of another planet. The Danube Canyon in the Black Sea is one such place, a massive underwater delta stretching hundreds of kilometers. It carries dense, salty water from the Mediterranean through the Bosporus Strait, plunging downward like a waterfall 20 times the height of Niagara. And yet, if you were floating above, you'd see nothing but calm blue. The hidden drama of the planet's circulation happens quietly, below sight, like the unconscious heartbeat of Earth. Oceanographers map these currents with drifting sensors and dye tracers, a strange kind of science that feels like following ghosts. They find that these rivers don't just move water, they move time. They carry ancient carbon, nutrients, and even microplastics from one world to another. A single parcel of water that sinks near Iceland might not return to the surface for 1,000 years. By the time it does, civilizations will have risen and fallen, and yet the current will keep flowing, unchanged. You imagine it now, slow, eternal motion. In the blackness, the deep currents hum like arteries, circulating heat and salt through the veins of the planet. It's these hidden flows that keep climates stable and ecosystems alive. Without them, the tropics would scorch and the poles would freeze. The ocean is not just a body of water, it's a body in motion. Even rivers we know, the Amazon, the Congo, continue their stories beneath the waves. When they reach the sea, they don't simply stop. Their freshwater plumes carve paths for hundreds of miles offshore, feeding plankton blooms that nourish whales, fish, and seabirds. The ocean remembers where they came from, carrying their fingerprints in temperature and chemistry far across the globe. Some scientists even describe these invisible rivers as liquid memory. Each layer of water holds a record of storms, seasons, and ages long gone. By studying isotopes and salinity, we can trace ancient routes and find when the planet last breathed differently. It's humbling to realize that even now, your body, mostly water, carries traces of those same ancient molecules, once moved by these very currents. You drift alongside one of these invisible rivers now. It's colder here but calm. You can almost sense its direction, the way the flow tugs gently against your skin. Tiny organisms drift by, riding the stream like cosmic dust through space. It feels alive, purposeful, and in a way it is, because when you step back far enough, the ocean's rivers begin to look like thought, billions of connections pulsing beneath the surface, unseen but essential. And maybe, just maybe, that's what consciousness is on a planetary scale. A great circulation, moving endlessly, quietly shaping everything above it. As you follow that thought, you notice a faint glow in the distance, flickering, rhythmic, alive. The current carries you closer until you realize it's not the reflection of sunlight, but something else entirely, something living. The ocean, it seems, has learned to make its own light. Let's follow it. The darkness deepens until it becomes almost absolute. Then suddenly, light returns, not from above, but from within. You blink, unsure at first whether your eyes are playing tricks on you. Tiny sparks drift past, glowing blue, green, and violet. They flicker, fade, and bloom again, like embers swirling in slow motion. This isn't sunlight. It's life itself, light created by living creatures, chemical fire kindled in the dark. The ocean, it turns out, glows more than the night sky. You are now in the bioluminescent zone, a place so alien and yet so peaceful that it feels like a dream. Almost 80% of deep-sea organisms can produce light. Some use it to hunt, some to hide, and some, as strange as it sounds, to communicate across miles of open blackness. Imagine the scene. A translucent jellyfish drifts past you, its tentacles pulsing like a slow heartbeat. Each pulse sends a wave of light through its body, a rhythm of soft electric blue that fades into green. Nearby, a swarm of plankton shimmers with tiny flashes whenever the water stirs, as if the sea itself were alive and breathing in sparks. Scientists call it cold light, produced when a molecule called luciferin reacts with oxygen, releasing energy without heat. It's the same mechanism fireflies use, though down here, the glow is softer, steadier, almost sacred. You can imagine drifting among them, each blink of light a word, a whisper, a signal in a language only the deep understands. Some creatures use light as a lure. The anglerfish, for example, dangles a glowing filament in front of its mouth, pretending to be a tiny meal. When a curious fish comes close, the light vanishes, and so does the visitor. It's the ocean's quiet version of a trap, perfected over millions of years. Others use light for disguise. The hatchetfish, with its mirrored scales, emits a faint glow from its belly that matches the sunlight filtering from above, making it invisible to predators looking up. It's camouflaged by imitation, nature's own stealth technology. And then there's the vampire squid, not a predator, but a soft, delicate being that spins threads of blue light from its arms when threatened, creating a glowing cloud to confuse anything chasing it. In the deep sea, survival is not about fighting. It's about vanishing beautifully. Every so often, a larger shape passes, perhaps a siphonophore, a colony of thousands of tiny organisms acting as one. It stretches for meters, maybe tens of meters, its body glowing like a slow-moving constellation. You realize you're witnessing the largest bioluminescent display on the planet, one that few human eyes have ever seen. And above all of it, faint and far away, the water still moves, gentle currents weaving this underwater galaxy together. It's easy to forget that all this light comes from hunger, fear, and adaptation. Yet when seen from your drifting point of view, it looks like pure beauty, a living cosmos beneath the waves. Researchers have long wondered why bioluminescence evolved so widely. Some think it's communication, flashes between species that say "stay away" or "I'm ready." Others believe it's a form of mimicry, a way to imitate the stars reflected on the ocean's surface, confusing predators that hunt from below. And maybe it's both. Maybe nature didn't choose one meaning because light, in the deep, is meaning itself. As you drift among the glowing clouds, you realize how familiar this feels. It's like looking at a night sky turned upside down. Each flicker a memory, each spark a life, each shimmer a quiet thought in the mind of the ocean. You reach out, your hand invisible, but you sense the glow responding, scattering around your fingers like silver dust. It's peaceful, hypnotic, alive. If you listen closely, you can almost hear it, a soft, endless rhythm. The sound of life adapting to darkness, finding beauty even where light should not exist. You breathe slowly. Every exhale feels lighter, as though you're dissolving into this glowing silence. And as you drift deeper still, you begin to sense motion in the distance, something vast and silent, swaying like a forest in the tide. Let's follow that shimmer to its source, a forgotten world of living trees beneath the waves. You drift into a place where the ocean becomes green again. After the glowing blues of the deep, this light feels almost earthy, though it doesn't come from the sun. It's refracted, filtered, stretched thin through the water until it becomes something softer, gentler. Around you, tall shapes rise from the seafloor, swaying with the rhythm of the tide. For a moment, it feels like you've wandered into a forest, and in a way, you have. These are the kelp forests, the forgotten lungs of the sea. Their golden brown blades stretch upward for tens of meters, forming canopies that ripple like silk in the current. Sunlight trickles through, flickering across fish that dart like birds among the branches. Every movement seems to breathe, a slow inhale, a graceful exhale, as if the entire forest were alive. Kelp isn't a plant, not exactly. It's a kind of algae, simple, ancient, and astonishingly productive. A single kelp bed can grow 0.5 meter a day, faster than bamboo, turning sunlight and seawater into oxygen that fills your lungs right now. It's humbling to think that while we cut down forests above the waves, another one thrives quietly below, unseen and uncelebrated. You swim through it, weightless, dreamlike. Crabs crawl along the roots, tiny shrimp drift between the fronds, and sea otters float above, wrapping themselves in kelp to keep from drifting away as they sleep. It's an ecosystem of peace and precision, everything connected by slow, rhythmic motion. When a strand of kelp breaks, it doesn't go to waste. It drifts until it finds a new place to anchor, creating life wherever it lands. There's another kind of underwater forest too, seagrass meadows. They may not be as tall or dramatic, but they are the quiet heroes of the ocean. Each blade captures carbon dioxide and stores it in the seabed, trapping it for centuries. In fact, these meadows are among the most effective carbon sinks on Earth, more powerful, acre for acre, than the Amazon rainforest. And yet, they rarely appear in our conversations about saving the planet. The truth is, much of what keeps Earth alive lies hidden under the waves. If forests on land are the planet's lungs, then these underwater meadows are its breath. They hum softly, unseen, keeping the balance between air and ocean. When they vanish, through pollution, heat, or carelessness, the ocean's rhythm falters, and the world above begins to forget how to breathe. You pause among the swaying kelp, listening. The sound is faint but steady, a soft crackle like gentle rain. It's the noise of tiny creatures feeding, coral clicking, fish brushing against fronds. An entire orchestra of small lives, all tuned to the same calm tempo. No conductor, no rush, just harmony. Marine ecologists sometimes call these places nurseries of the sea. Nearly a quarter of all fish species begin their lives here, hidden among the leaves. Even whales pass overhead, their songs echoing through the canopy like distant thunder through trees. It's easy to understand why divers often lose track of time in these places. There's something ancient about them, something the world above has almost forgotten. They've existed for millions of years, long before humans, long before words like climate or pollution were spoken. And through every change, every ice age, every extinction, the forests have regrown, silently keeping the ocean alive. You look up, and light filters through the kelp canopy like a moving ceiling of gold. Tiny bubbles drift upward, catching the last fragments of sunlight. The entire world seems to breathe in slow motion. And as you drift upward with them, a silvery pulse ripples through the water, a rhythm guided not by trees or currents, but by something far above. The moon. Its invisible hand is pulling at the sea, shaping tides, and even the sleep of creatures like you. Let's rise toward that rhythm and see how the moon moves the ocean and everything within it. You feel it before you see it, that slow, patient motion that never stops. Even here, deep below the surface, the water sways as if it's breathing. This is the pulse of the moon, felt through every drop on Earth. It's easy to forget that we live on a planet not just warmed by the sun, but moved by the moon. Every 6 hours or so, the ocean lifts and falls, drawn upward by gravity. It's not a wave, not really. It's the entire body of the sea rising, inch by inch, pulled by an invisible thread stretched across space. The tides are the moon's quiet language, its way of touching Earth from afar. On the surface, you might think it's gentle, harmless, predictable. But in truth, the tides shape everything. They carve coastlines, feed coral reefs, and dictate where life can survive. Whole ecosystems depend on the rhythm of this celestial tug-of-war. Tiny crabs hatch their eggs at the exact moment of the highest tide, timed to the moon's cycle, so their young can ride the outgoing current to safety. Sea turtles crawl ashore under full moons, guided by light and instinct older than civilization. And you, too, are not separate from it. The human body is mostly water, saline, rhythmic, tidal. Some researchers have even noticed that our sleep cycles subtly shift with the phases of the moon. We are not as distant from the ocean's pull as we think. The same gravity that moves the sea also whispers to the fluids within us. As you float, you start to sense that motion. It's not just current, it's cadence. The entire ocean inhales and exhales with the moon's orbit. When the moon and sun align, their forces combine, and the tides grow stronger, spring tides, not because of the season, but because the ocean springs higher. When they oppose each other, the pull weakens, giving us neap tides, where the water rests, breathing shallowly, almost asleep. You imagine the view from space, the Earth covered in blue, its oceans bulging gently toward the moon. It's like watching a heartbeat, slow and planetary. The moon, small and silent, does not shine with its own light, yet it moves mountains of water and controls the rhythm of every coastline on Earth. For countless cultures, tides were sacred, proof that the heavens were connected to the living world. Ancient sailors read them as calendars. Monks used them to measure prayer hours. And even now, coastal villages still live by them, their routines guided by the turning of that pale silver clock in the sky. It's fascinating to think that if the moon were slightly farther away, tides would weaken, currents would slow, and many ocean ecosystems would collapse. If it were closer, the tides would grow violent, reshaping continents. The balance we live in, this gentle, rocking equilibrium, is perfect, fragile, and utterly miraculous. You close your eyes and listen. Above you, the surface breathes. Below, the seabed hums. Somewhere in between, every living creature adjusts to this pull, from coral polyps opening at dusk to deep-sea fish rising and falling with the invisible tide. Even plankton, microscopic drifters, sense the moon. They rise toward the surface at night and sink during the day, their movement perfectly in sync with lunar gravity. Scientists call it ideal vertical migration, but really, it's just another form of the moon's embrace. The largest synchronized movement of life on Earth happens every night, and you've been part of it all along, just by existing here. The moon is the ocean's metronome, and the sea is its music. One keeps time, the other creates it. Together, they form the rhythm that shapes all life below and above. You feel it now, that calm, inevitable motion, like the rocking of a cradle. The world hums quietly in tune with lunar gravity, and as the current carries you onward, you sense a flicker of heat in the distance, rising from the darkness below. The ocean floor begins to glow faintly red. Something ancient is stirring there. Mountains of fire, hidden beneath miles of cold water. Let's descend once more toward the volcanic heart of the sea. You sink once more into the darkness, but this time, it's different. The water around you grows warmer, trembling faintly as if the planet itself is breathing below. Then, through the black, you see it, a faint red glow, pulsing like the ember of a world's hidden furnace. The ocean floor, long thought to be silent and still, is in fact alive with fire. Every day, unseen by almost everyone, volcanoes erupt beneath the waves. Thousands of them, scattered across the ridges and trenches of the deep. They don't roar like those on land. They whisper in bubbles and flickers of molten rock, building new crust at a pace so steady it feels eternal. You drift closer, careful, watching molten rock ooze from cracks in the seafloor. When lava meets seawater, it cools instantly, shattering into black glass, obsidian fragments that shimmer under the faint glow of venting minerals. Over centuries, these slow, patient eruptions create new islands, new continents, new homes for life. And indeed, there is life here, impossible life. Around you, pale white crabs scuttle along the rocks, and ghostly shrimp cluster near shimmering chimneys of smoke. These are hydrothermal vents, places where seawater seeps into the crust, heats up to hundreds of degrees, and rises again as clouds of mineral-rich steam. They're called black smokers and white smokers, depending on the minerals they release. Iron, sulfur, zinc, and copper, drifting like underwater smoke into the cold abyss. But it's not just chemistry, it's creation. Here, in complete darkness, without sunlight or oxygen, Entire ecosystems thrive. Giant tube worms, as tall as you, wave gently in the hot currents, their blood-red plumes absorbing chemicals from bacteria living inside them. There are no plants, no photosynthesis, only chemosynthesis, life built on chemical energy instead of light. It's a reminder that life doesn't need sunshine, only balance, warmth, pressure, and patience. Scientists think these vents may be the birthplace of life itself. For billion years ago, when Earth was young and chaotic, similar environments may have provided the first sparks of metabolism, where molecules began to combine, divide, and eventually think. It's humbling to look at one now, realizing you're staring at something that may resemble our own beginning. The heat here isn't chaotic, it's rhythmic. Minerals crystallize along the vent's walls, forming chimney towers that rise and collapse like breathing lungs. Each exhale releases clouds of metal-rich smoke that drift upward, cooling into tiny particles that will someday become part of the ocean sediments. Even now, researchers collect these materials to study clues about Earth's chemistry, and maybe even other worlds. Because if life can exist here, in this boiling darkness, it can exist on Europa, Enceladus, or any moon that hides an ocean beneath ice. The thought is strangely comforting, that even in the coldest, loneliest corners of the cosmos, something like this might still glow. You watch as the vent pulses again, a fountain of light and heat. It's beautiful, but also fragile. Hydrothermal ecosystems rise and fall with the vents themselves. When a chimney collapses or cools, everything living there must move on, drifting until it finds another source of warmth. It's migration not across miles, but across temperatures. And somehow, it mirrors our own lives, building, changing, collapsing, rebuilding, always seeking the warmth that sustains us. You float upward slightly, and the heat fades to a soft warmth against your skin. Above, the water is once again blue, dark, and endless. The glow below recedes like a fading memory, leaving behind only a sense of awe. But something else is stirring in that darkness. Not fire this time, but motion. Invisible yet immense, an ocean within the ocean. You begin to feel a slow push, a current so vast it could circle the globe, carrying whispers, warmth, and stories across continents. Let's follow it now, these messages in the current, and learn how the sea speaks in motion. You let yourself drift upward, weightless, as the water around you begins to move again. Not in chaos, but with purpose. There's no storm, no wind, no visible force, and yet you can feel it, the gentle tug of something vast and unseen. This is the ocean's hidden language, the great currents that circle the world, carrying stories, memories, and life itself across thousands of miles. From above, they might look still, but the truth is, the sea is always on the move. Warm water from the equator rises and drifts north, while cold, dense water from the poles sinks and travels south. Together they form what oceanographers call the global conveyor belt, a continuous loop that links every ocean on Earth into one great, breathing system. You are inside that motion now. It's slow, slower than any river, slower than time itself, but unstoppable. Each current flows like a thought that never fades, a memory written in salt and temperature. When the Gulf Stream sweeps past the Americas toward Europe, it carries not only warmth, but traces of everything it touches, plankton, minerals, even DNA from distant shores. It's as if the planet itself is whispering across oceans, "I remember you." Somewhere beneath you, The cold Antarctic waters push northward, dense and ancient, like a slow exhale from the planet's lungs. Each droplet in that current may take 1,000 years to return to the surface. When it finally does, it will rise in another world, perhaps near Iceland or the coast of Africa, carrying the chemical fingerprints of an era long gone. In this way, the ocean keeps time, not in seconds or years, but in ages. It's strange to realize how much of life depends on these invisible roads. A single shift in the current can change weather, reshape coastlines, and alter the migration of entire species. When El Niño awakens in the Pacific, for instance, warm waters drift eastward, silencing fish populations in Peru and summoning storms in faraway deserts. A few degrees of difference, and the balance of the whole planet tilts. The currents also carry messages for us, not words, but patterns. By studying their movements, scientists can trace pollution, detect climate change, and even forecast how heat and carbon are distributed around the globe. Satellite images show swirling eddies the size of continents, spirals of color that look like art, each one a signature of energy and motion. You drift through one now, caught in its graceful spiral. Tiny plankton spin beside you, tracing luminous arcs as the current carries them upward. They don't resist. They simply flow, trusting the rhythm that has guided them for millions of years. It's a strange lesson. You realize that surrender can be its own kind of intelligence. If you could see the entire system from space, it would look like the circulatory system of a living being, veins of blue and silver wrapping the planet, pulsing with rhythm. The ocean doesn't just cover Earth, it connects it. Every coastline, every storm, every cloud owes something to this constant exchange. It's the planet's memory in motion. There's beauty in how balanced it all is, and fear too, because when these currents slow, the consequences ripple everywhere. In the North Atlantic, for instance, scientists have detected signs that the Great Conveyor Belt may be weakening, perhaps due to melting ice. If it stops, Europe could freeze, monsoons could vanish, and ecosystems could collapse. The ocean doesn't rage when it changes. It simply shifts, and the world shifts with it. Still, in this quiet moment, there's peace. You can feel the current steady beneath you, guiding, constant, ancient. Every part of the ocean, the tides, the heat, the salt, even the smallest drifting creature, is part of this great conversation. It's the hum of a planet that's still alive. You let the current carry you onward, through the soft blue twilight. In the distance, something flickers again, not light this time, but movement. Large shapes, slow and deliberate, moving in formation like shadows of a forgotten dream. The deeper you go, the stranger and more magnificent life becomes. Let's drift closer and meet the beings who rule this hidden realm. Creatures from the abyss, whose very existence challenges what we think we know about life. You follow the faint movement in the dark until, one by one, the shadows take shape. They are not monsters, as stories might suggest, but miracles, fragile, radiant, and impossibly adapted to a world without light. This is the abyssal zone, where pressure could crush steel and the temperature never rises above freezing. Yet even here, life flourishes. Your eyes adjust to the dimness, and you begin to make out forms gliding through the gloom. A translucent squid passes by, its skin rippling with electric pulses, like lightning contained in glass. Nearby, an anglerfish drifts, small, but terrifyingly calm, the bioluminescent orb on its head swaying like a lantern in a graveyard. It looks ancient, as though it remembers the ocean's first night. Every creature here is a masterpiece of adaptation. They don't fight the darkness. They become part of it. Some produce their own light. Others have eyes that are mirrors, designed to catch even the faintest glimmer of the world above. There are fish with transparent skulls, so they can see through their own heads, and shrimp that can detect ultraviolet flashes invisible to human sight. It's as if evolution, freed from the limits of sunlight, decided to experiment, to paint with shapes and ideas no one could ever imagine. There's a kind of freedom here, a sense that life, when left alone long enough, learns to create beauty for no reason other than existence itself. You drift past a cluster of gelatinous creatures, their bodies pulsating like slow heartbeats. One of them, a ctenophore, trails rows of tiny cones that refract light into rainbows, a living prism in the dark. It's mesmerizing, silent, and perfect, proof that color still matters, even when there's no one to see it. Further below, the abyss turns strange again. Fields of sea cucumbers crawl along the mud, swallowing silt and leaving trails behind them like calligraphy. Giant isopods, cousins of the pill bugs you might find in a garden, scuttle across the seafloor, armored like tiny submarines. And somewhere in the distance, the outline of a colossal squid flickers into view, its tentacles stretching longer than a bus, its eyes the size of dinner plates. Not aggressive, just patient, waiting. You can feel the pressure now, not painful, but heavy, ancient. Each movement takes effort. Even sound becomes thick, slow, like dreams moving through syrup. The abyss feels infinite, but in truth, it's fragile, a realm balanced between isolation and survival. Scientists once thought this zone was lifeless. For centuries, sailors called it the dead ocean, imagining that nothing could endure such darkness. But when the first submersibles descended in the 20th century, what they found changed everything. Thousands of new species, glowing, transparent, alien, all thriving in a place where light had never been. It was as if the earth had kept a secret from us until we were ready to understand it. There's a quiet dignity in these beings. They don't fight for dominance or territory. They drift, feed, and wait. Some go months without eating. Some never meet another of their kind. And yet, they persist, alone but not lonely. It makes you wonder, if life can exist here, in complete silence and crushing darkness, how many other worlds might harbor their own versions of this peace? When scientists look at moons like Europa or Enceladus, they don't imagine forests or skies. They imagine oceans like this one, deep and eternal, warmed by hidden vents and populated by quiet, glowing wanderers. You float there weightless, surrounded by slow, breathing light. The creatures drift past without fear, indifferent to your presence. It feels less like exploration and more like reunion, as if you've stumbled upon something familiar buried deep in the collective memory of life itself. You realize that maybe these beings are not alien at all. Maybe they are echoes, reminders of what we once were when the world was still dark and new. The current begins to carry you upward again, gently. The light fades from blue to black, but something else begins to take its place. A distant, rhythmic song, low and resonant, spreading through the water like a heartbeat. The voices of giants are calling. Let's follow that sound and meet the ocean's memory made flesh, the whales. The sound reaches you long before the singers appear. A low, trembling note rolls through the dark water, as deep and endless as time itself. It vibrates through your chest, through the bones of the sea, through everything alive around you. It's not just sound, it's presence. The voice of a whale. You've heard recordings of them before. Distant, muffled, haunting. But here, surrounded by it, you understand something different. These aren't random calls. They are language, patterned and deliberate. Every rise and fall of tone carries meaning. Not to us, perhaps, but to each other. Then, out of the shadow, the first silhouette appears. Massive, slow, gliding with a grace that defies its size. A blue whale, the largest creature ever to live on Earth, passes beneath you, and for a moment, you feel small in a way that's comforting. It doesn't rush. It doesn't need to. The ocean itself moves around it, as though honoring its path. Its skin shimmers faintly in the dim light, mottled gray-blue, scarred from decades of journeys across the world. Each mark a memory, a story carved by time. You realize this whale may be older than you, older than your parents, perhaps older than some nations. It has traveled farther than any ship, across entire hemispheres, guided not by maps, but by sound and magnetism, by instinct encoded over millions of years. Whales are the ocean's living memory. They remember migration routes passed down through generations, the songs of ancestors still echoing faintly in their blood. When a whale sings, its voice can travel hundreds, even thousands of kilometers, through layers of water, through temperature and pressure, through time itself. A single call might take minutes to fade. When multiple whales sing together, their melodies merge into vast choruses that fill the ocean with resonance. Some scientists believe that these harmonies can shape behavior across entire pods, even across species. And yet, there's still so much mystery. No one truly knows why whales sing. Some think it's communication, others courtship or navigation. But there's another theory, one that's quieter, more poetic. That whales sing simply to remember, to keep their world stitched together with sound, the way we use stories to hold on to ours. As you listen, you begin to hear layers, a pattern of deep pulses, then higher trills, then long, mournful wails. Each species has its own rhythm. The humpback's song can last 20 minutes, looping and evolving like a symphony that never repeats the same way twice. Over time, these songs migrate, changing year by year, an underwater evolution of melody that no one conducts. In 1977, NASA launched the Voyager spacecraft, carrying with it the golden record, a time capsule of humanity. Among the greetings and classical music, they included whale songs recorded in the Pacific. So now, somewhere beyond our solar system, drifting through the stars, the voice of Earth's oldest singer travels endlessly. It's a comforting thought that when alien ears finally hear us, the first sound they'll meet might not be human at all, but whale. You watch as a smaller whale, perhaps its calf, swims beside the giant, matching its rhythm perfectly. They surface together far above, exhaling great plumes of mist into the night air before sinking again into the quiet. Their bond is wordless, yet absolute. It feels sacred, almost human, and yet entirely otherworldly. For centuries, people hunted whales, not out of hatred, but out of hunger and ignorance. And yet, even as the harpoons fell silent, the songs never stopped. They adapted, shifted tone, grew softer, almost forgiving. It's as if the ocean itself chose healing over bitterness. As you drift among their echoes, you realize that this is what eternity might sound like: slow, resonant, filled with longing but not sorrow. A music that doesn't end, only fades into the next generation. The sound begins to fade now, replaced by a deep rumbling from below. It's not alive this time. It's the earth itself, trembling softly. You turn toward the seafloor, where shapes rise from the dark. Massive, jagged, silent. They're not mountains as you know them, but underwater ranges, stretching farther than the Himalayas, sculpted by fire and pressure. Let's follow them, down into the ocean's hidden mountains, where the planet's history sleeps in stone. You follow the deep rumble downward until the light fades again, replaced by shadow and motionless power. At first, the shapes below you seem like clouds. Then, as your eyes adjust, you realize they are peaks, vast, jagged ridges stretching endlessly in every direction. The mid-ocean ridge, the longest mountain chain on Earth, nearly 40,000 miles long, wrapping around the planet like a scar of creation. If the sea were drained, these ridges would tower higher than the Andes, the Alps, even the Himalayas. But they remain unseen, sculpted in silence beneath miles of water, growing inch by inch as molten rock seeps from the planet's mantle. It's here, along these volcanic seams, that the Earth remakes itself, constantly building, constantly renewing. You drift above one of these ranges now. It looks like a world turned inside out. Rocks still glow faintly with heat from the deep mantle, and strange organisms cling to their slopes. Blind shrimp, tube worms, and coral gardens glowing faintly under the pale shimmer of bioluminescence. No sunlight has ever reached them, yet they thrive. Each mountain ridge tells a story, if you know how to listen. The rock here carries magnetic signatures, alternating stripes frozen into the crust as it cools. When scientists first discovered these patterns in the 1960s, they realized what they meant. Proof that the continents move, that the ocean floor itself is born, spreads, and dies in cycles spanning hundreds of millions of years. The sea, it turns out, isn't just a surface, it's a geologic engine. You run your hand along the invisible currents, feeling particles drift upward. Iron dust, silica, and the slow exhalations of the earth. Each speck will travel for centuries before settling again, carrying with it the planet's chemical memory. Even in silence, the mountains speak, not in words, but in the slow, patient language of rock and gravity. There's something humbling about their scale. We think of mountains as symbols of permanence, yet these are younger than the ocean around them. Some ridges rise overnight after an eruption. Others vanish into trenches miles deep. The deepest of all, the Mariana Trench, is so far down that if Mount Everest were dropped inside, its summit would still be a kilometer beneath the surface. And yet, at that depth, life still stirs. Amphipods, snails, bacteria, each surviving pressures thousands of times greater than the air above. It's strange. The deeper you go, the more alive everything becomes. The mountains here are not monuments, but arteries, channels through which the planet circulates heat and minerals. They are the unseen skeleton of the world, shifting and breathing beneath every continent. If you listen carefully, you can almost hear the tectonic hum, a frequency too low for human ears but strong enough to shape continents. Oceanographers sometimes call this region the cradle of continents. Volcanoes rise here, form islands, and in time, those islands become homes for birds, for people, for stories. Every grain of sand on every beach began as part of a mountain like this, miles below, born of fire, carried upward by water, and polished by time. You glance upward, imagining that journey in reverse. Mountains turn to sand, sand carried by rivers, rivers joining the ocean, ocean birthing new mountains again. It's an endless loop, a quiet proof that nothing on Earth is ever truly lost. only transformed. The light from your surroundings begins to flicker. The minerals in the rocks reflect faint silver beams from the drifting plankton above. You realize you've reached a place where even time seems to stand still. No day, no night, only the slow breathing of the planet itself. But beyond these peaks, past the edge where mountains fall into trenches, lies something deeper still. A world of absolute darkness. A realm where sunlight has never touched, and where the only light comes from creatures that glow in eternal night. Let's descend once more to the bottom of the sea and listen to what waits there, the deep's eternal night. You drift down once again, past the ridges and vents, past the last flickers of bioluminescence, until even color itself disappears. The ocean here is not black. It's beyond black, an endless space where light has never lived. This is the abyssal plain, the silent floor of the planet's heart. If there is a place where time forgets to move, it might be here. It's cold now, barely above freezing, and the pressure around you is unimaginable. Every square inch of your body feels the weight of tons of water. Yet everything remains still, suspended, peaceful. It's the kind of silence that feels alive, not empty. You're not alone here, though. Tiny creatures drift through the void. Copepods, ghostly jellies, and worms that shimmer faintly when disturbed. Each spark of light seems almost sacred, a rebellion against nothingness. The deep, it turns out, is not lifeless, it's patient. Every flicker, every pulse, every slow heartbeat has been happening for millions of years, untouched by the sun. If you could scoop up a handful of this water, it would be ancient, perhaps older than humanity itself. The particles suspended in it have drifted for centuries, carrying whispers of surface storms, volcanic eruptions, and even cosmic dust that's settled here from space. It's a kind of memory, not written in ink or stone, but in molecules. The deep sea has its own kind of weather. Slow, invisible currents sweep the plains, stirring up nutrients that fall like snow, a steady rain of organic particles from the world above. Scientists call it marine snow. It drifts endlessly, soft and white, made of tiny skeletons, plankton, and fragments of forgotten lives. To the creatures below, it's a feast. To you, it looks like the gentlest snowfall imaginable. The floor beneath you gleams faintly in its glow. Down here, some fish live their entire lives in complete darkness, never once rising toward the surface. They navigate by pressure and scent, by the faint vibrations of water against their skin. Some have no eyes at all. Others have eyes so huge they seem to absorb even dreams of light. It's not a place of fear, it's a place of adaptation. Even bacteria thrive here, hidden beneath the mud, feeding on the faint trickle of nutrients that drift down from above. Some of these microbes haven't changed in billions of years. They may be the closest living relatives to Earth's first cells, quiet keepers of time. And as strange as it sounds, this eternal night helps keep the world alive. The deep stores heat, carbon, and memory. It absorbs the excess of the surface, keeping the planet stable. If the deep ocean ever stopped breathing, the air above would suffocate within decades. The world sleeps because the deep remembers how to dream. You hover there for a while, letting the stillness wash over you. It's strange how comforting the darkness becomes when you stop resisting it. Here, you're free from the clocks, from noise, from the constant pull of tomorrow. There's only the now, slow, suspended, infinite. Some explorers who've descended in submersibles describe this feeling as being inside the planet's mind. And maybe that's not far from the truth. Everything above, storms, forests, cities, depends on the quiet equilibrium of this place. It's the world's subconscious, always working, always steady. You imagine, for a moment, that if you could listen hard enough, you might hear the pulse of the earth itself, a deep, rhythmic hum that began billions of years ago and never stopped. Perhaps it's still humming now, softly, beneath the roar of the surface world. Then, far away, a shimmer begins. Not light, but movement. The currents that once carried warmth now seem to sigh, rising upward, as if the ocean itself is taking a breath. And that's exactly what's happening. The sea is inhaling, exhaling, regulating its own heartbeat. Let's rise with it now, to feel the rhythm of that breath, to witness how the ocean, like you, lives by inhaling and releasing. The ascent is so gradual you barely feel it. At first, there's only stillness, then movement, slow, rhythmic, like the ocean drawing air through invisible lungs. You're not rising because of effort, but because the water itself is moving, alive, exhaling after eons of quiet. The sea is breathing. Every breath of this planet begins and ends with the ocean. When wind sweeps the surface, waves stir oxygen into the upper layers. Microscopic plants, phytoplankton, absorb carbon dioxide, releasing oxygen back into the world. Half the air you breathe tonight was born this way, in silence from sunlight and salt. It's strange to think about. Every inhale you take right now connects you to that unseen rhythm. The ocean doesn't just cradle life, it maintains it. Its slow respiration governs weather, temperature, and the very chemistry of the air. When the sea breathes deeply, the planet thrives. When it falters, the world above begins to lose balance. You rise through faint green light as you follow the upward flow. Tiny bubbles drift around you, released from plankton blooms far below. They burst softly, scattering silver sparks through the water, oxygen escaping, carrying the scent of renewal. It's a cosmic symmetry, the same process that sustains forests, happening in a realm without trees. Marine scientists call this the biological pump. Carbon sinks as life dies. Oxygen rises as life renews. Each molecule completes a journey, downward into darkness, then upward again, transformed. It's the same story the Earth has told for billions of years, told through wind, rain, and wave. You imagine watching this process from above, the entire ocean shimmering with invisible exchange, breath flowing in patterns too vast for eyes to see. It's humbling, a reminder that what we call air is not ours alone. It's shared, cycle borrowed. Every breath you take is a continuation of the ocean's work, a quiet collaboration between worlds. And yet, this balance is delicate. When the water warms too much, it holds less oxygen. When plankton die from pollution or acidification, that global breath shortens. Dead zones appear, regions where the sea can no longer exhale. Fish vanish, coral fades, and the rhythm weakens. It's as if the planet is whispering for help, its breath growing shallow. Still, life endures. Even in struggling waters, new forms emerge. Microbes that adapt, plankton that evolve to tolerate heat, whales that shift their migrations to follow cooler tides. The ocean is resilient, but not infinite. Its patience is vast, but not without limit. You pause for a moment, inhaling deeply, as if your lungs and the sea could synchronize. It feels like a communion. Each rise and fall of your chest mirrors the tide. Each exhale joining the collective rhythm of all living things. You realize that breathing, at its essence, is simply participation in a larger cycle, a shared act of existence. Above, a faint light begins to grow, the first hint of the surface. The color shifts from deep blue to silver, and for the first time in what feels like hours, you see brightness shimmering above you. It's gentle, diffused, like moonlight through clouds. But before you reach it, you glance downward once more. Beneath you, the abyss stretches forever, calm, silent, and alive. It no longer feels foreign. It feels like home, an ancient origin you've simply returned to for a visit. As you rise toward the light, you begin to see reflections, soft waves folding over each other like ripples of glass. You realize that the ocean's breathing is not just about life or chemistry. It's a mirror of something deeper, something human. The tides, like emotions, move in and out, sometimes still, sometimes fierce, always returning. Let's surface now, just once more, to meet that reflection, to see what the sea has been trying to tell us all along about ourselves. You break the surface at last. For a moment, all you see is light, silver ripples stretching to the horizon, the sky mirrored perfectly in the water's skin. The ocean feels different from up here. From below, it was a universe. From above, it's a single, endless field of motion. You float on your back, letting your body rise and fall with the swell. The line between sea and sky blurs until you're not sure where one ends and the other begins. Clouds drift overhead. Their shapes fracture in the water, reassembled into softer, kinder versions of themselves. You realize that the ocean is always doing this, taking sharp edges and turning them into something gentler. It's hard not to see yourself in it. Your thoughts, like waves, rise and fall. Your moods, like tides, shift and return. Your memories, like currents, carry traces of places you haven't visited in years. Just as the sea holds old storms in its depths, you hold old days in your mind, quiet now, but still there, shaping how you move. Scientists talk about the blue mind, that calm, meditative state that water seems to bring to the human brain. When you look at the sea, your nervous system softens. Your heart rate slows. The brain's default mode network, the part that chatters and worries, finally loosens its grip. It's as if the mind recognizes something in the pattern of waves, something ancient and familiar, and finally allows itself to rest. You watch the swell roll toward you, one wave at a time. Each one rises, gathers shape, then dissolves into foam, leaving no trace. No wave apologizes for crashing. No wave clings to the shore, begging not to change. It just is, appearing and disappearing without drama. Your thoughts could be like that too, you realize. Appearing, disappearing, leaving the deeper ocean of who you are untouched. Humans have always looked to the sea for answers. Poets see eternity in it. Sailors see risk. Scientists see data. Children see adventure. But beneath all those perspectives is something simpler. People standing at the edge of something bigger than themselves, feeling both small and strangely safe. There's a quiet paradox here. The ocean is unimaginably powerful, capable of storms, tsunamis, reshaping coastlines over ages. And yet, lying here tonight, it feels like the gentlest cradle. The same water that can move continents is rocking you to sleep with emotion so subtle you barely notice it. It's a reminder that power and peace are not opposites. Sometimes they are the same thing, just seen at different scales. You think back over your journey tonight. The glowing plankton and bioluminescent clouds. The invisible rivers and global currents, moving like a planet's thoughts. The forests of kelp and seagrass, breathing for the world. The volcanoes in the abyss, giving birth to new crust. The creatures of the deep, luminous and strange, living where light has never been. The whales, carrying time in their voices. The mountains, hidden yet essential, cradling the very shape of the oceans. And finally, the deep, eternal night that somehow keeps everything else in balance. All of it still exists, right now, while you're here at the surface. None of it needs you to watch it to be real. There's something comforting about that the world is quietly, constantly doing its work, even when you forget it's there. Just like your own body, breathing, healing, adjusting, even when your mind is busy elsewhere. There are still countless things we don't understand. How exactly do whales encode memory and song? How many species in the abyssal plains have yet to be discovered? How will the currents and breathing of the ocean change as the climate warms? These are questions scientists are still debating, instruments still listening, satellites still measuring. The story of the sea is unfinished, and so is ours. But tonight, you don't have to solve any of it. You don't have to fix the tides, or name every starfish, or memorize every current. You're allowed to simply be one small, quiet listener in the presence of something vast. That, in itself, is enough. Now let the script begin to slow with you. Feel the water under your body, even if you're nowhere near the sea right now. Let your mattress be the ocean. Let your blanket be the surface, soft and sheltering. Pretend that every gentle rise of your chest is a tide, and every exhale is a wave returning home. You notice the sounds around you, maybe faint traffic, a fan, the hum of your room. They begin to blur, just like the boundary between sky and water. They're no longer separate noises, just part of a soft background, like distant waves on a beach you can't quite see. Your thoughts, too, begin to soften at the edges. The sharpness melts away. If a worry appears, let it be a small boat on a wide sea, visible for a moment, then drifting toward the horizon until it's too small to bother you. You don't have to push it away. You just don't have to follow it. The ocean brain beneath your thoughts is calm, deep, and unbothered. Imagine now that you're back beneath the surface, sinking slowly but comfortably into warm, clear water. The light above becomes a soft glow, like a distant sunrise behind your eyelids. Around you, the world is quiet, blue, and endless. No deadlines, no noise, no expectations, just the steady rhythm of your own heartbeat, like a drum echoing through the sea. You are as old as the water that makes you, as peaceful as a tide at rest. Every muscle in your body begins to unclench, like kelp unfurling in slow motion. Your jaw loosens, your shoulders drop, your hands soften. Even the thoughts you didn't know you were holding begin to drift away, one by one, like shells carried gently back into deeper water. The journey through the ocean was never really about the ocean alone. It was about you, about remembering that beneath the storms and surface ripples of your day, there is a deeper self that is always calm, always vast, always capable of holding everything without breaking. Like the sea, you are allowed to move and rest, to glow and grow dark, to carry memories and let them sink, to breathe in and breathe out without needing a reason. So now, let the last of this story dissolve into a quiet hum. Let the waves of today recede. Let the night wrap around you like cool, gentle water. You've traveled far enough for one evening. There is nothing left to do. The ocean will keep breathing. The planet will keep turning. Your only job now is to sleep. Drift slowly, peacefully, into your own deep, eternal night.